Afternoon everyone. That's not bad for a view, is it? The old Naval Hospital, Greenwich Naval Hospital, and by complete impromptu the Queen's house, which I knew was here obviously. I kind of knew it was open to the public, but in all honesty I had no idea just the sheer extent of artwork that they've got in that place. Canalettos, a Van Gogh, the Armada portrait of Queen Elizabeth I is something I've always wanted to see, and being honest I thought it was in the National Gallery. I'd not looked it up properly, and it's there. It was in the Queen's antechamber, and that room just on its own is utterly stunning. Each recording is about 30 minutes long, which obviously won't go on TikTok and Instagram, it could be a bit too long, but I'll break down snippets of the best bits on that for you guys and girls. But if you want to watch them all uninterrupted, come and have a look on my Facebook or YouTube page. I'm London Luke on Facebook and YouTube. London Luke Living History page, or London Luke the two underscore things Living History page. Gosh, isn't it warm? It's one of my favourite modern views of the city. Do excuse the rustling, I've got a drink bottle in a carrier bag here. I'm just going to put my phone case away quickly in the bag. Sorry about that, guys and girls. Well, the Queen's house, a little interesting piece of history for you. When they built the Naval College was given permission to be built by obviously the royal family, Queen at the time. I think it was Queen Anne or Queen Mary, and with the big stipulation that when built it must not interrupt the view from the Queen's house of the Thames. So that's why you've got this gap in the middle with these two domes which kind of frame it, which in a way is a really good thing that happened, because obviously it afforded the royal family lovely views, which they obviously liked. They're human beings just like us, everyone likes a nice view, and it leaves that view to posterity, so they say, which is us. I mean, anyone that's in London, this is open 7 days a week, the Queen's house, and all I can say is that I advise you to come and have a look at it. Absolutely stunning. You'll need several hours, probably several visits actually, because there's so much. I mean, if you want to do full extensive tours where you focus on each portrait, the description and everything, you would have to come back a good many times. I went in there not knowing what I was going to get, and a very great surprise. So yeah, the architecture in there is just stunning. I mean, the Great Hall alone, the tulip staircase, the Queen Elizabeth's, or the Queen's antechamber, which was my favourite part. The ceiling on that, just the painted ceiling. I went in the room and went, oh wow, and I don't do that often. And that's the room that holds the Armada portrait. They close at 5 and they're open from 10 AM till 5. It's very easy to reach. If you can get into Greenwich by the Docklands Light Railway, the train, or however you get here. I always go to Island Gardens over there from the East End bit where I live on the bus to Poplar, then from Poplar a D7 bus to Island Gardens, jump off this little domed structure that you see just there is the Greenwich Tunnel, straight through there and over to here. So yeah, I'll break down and put snippets on and things like that of this. Yeah, I hope you're all going to enjoy what you see. But all I can say is that I advise you to come and experience it yourself, because what I obviously convey through a camera is one thing, but what you experience with your own senses is a completely different thing. And I was gobsmacked. Such a small house, it looks so small. When you go inside, there's so many rooms, and unlike with us, our rooms generally lead off of passageways or corridors. They didn't in those days. Each room led off of one room into another, and depending on how important you were, the more important you were, the nearer you got to the Queen or King's most important rooms, like the bedchamber, the antechamber, or the Holy of Holies, the Privy Chamber, which was a private chamber. the king or queen's closet. We think of a closet as a wardrobe where you store clothes. It was a small little room inside where when all the courtiers and the heat and everything was, or anything was getting on their nerves, they could go away to their little closet and just shut the door and say, oh, thank fuck that lot's over. So yeah, that's all I can say really. Come and give this place a visit. They're just about closing now. And then you can see, well, not much I can say really. My words can't do this justice. The Great Hall alone, I mean, you get to walk on the lower part, the upper part. Inigo Jones was the creator of that one, and it's one of the oldest remaining parts of the house. The tulip staircase is one of the first, what we'd know as spiral or round or spherical staircases like that in the country. There's little bits and bobs like that, just packed full of history. And this kind of place, it's either going to bore the teeth out of you, which with me, if I was about 15 years old, which I'm not anymore, it would have done. But now I'm in my late 30s, approaching 40, I found all this really interesting, must admit. And you get some nice views as well. The grass is scorched brown, but that's alright. It's smelling a burning smell. Put me on the paranoia that it was my phone, but it's not my phone. But yeah, I'll get us to 10 minutes on this one, because that's how long they allow me on TikTok and Instagram. Unless I go live on, I think it's Insta or TikTok, I can't remember which one I can go live on. I did a live on there once and the quality was appalling. So I'll stick to pre-records. I'm a perfectionist, and if it ain't nice quality, I just ain't happy putting it on. Sounded common then, didn't I? But that's me. Like it's a nut, that's what you got. And that says Henrietta's Regina 1635. So it wasn't Queen Anne, do beg my pardon, it's Queen Henrietta Maria, who was the Queen of King Charles. And as I say, when the Naval College Hospital was built, it had to be built so it didn't interrupt the view of the Queen's house, which is why you've got that. Sir Christopher Wren played a large part in the construction of or consultation and the building of the Naval Hospital. So, yeah. It's been a very nice day today. I had originally planned to come and go straight up to the observatory, Greenwich Observatory, but this place waylaid me, and I'm very glad that it did, because this is free. The observatory is £16 now. I've been in the observatory before, but it is well worth it if you like anything like that, and I love clocks and watches. I knew I was coming up this area today, there's a lot of links to clocks, watches and time here, being Greenwich Mean Time. So I bought one of my, because I got a pocket watch collection, I bought one of my own ones out with me today, which are chimes. So just to give an example, and funny enough, we saw a very, very similar thing in there in a case. So yeah, and the chiming watch was basically, I think we've got this bag down, it's getting on my nerves. That's it. Chiming watch was basically, in the old days when you wanted to be polite in company and not get your watch out and look at the time because it was rude, you'd put your hand in your pocket, your watch, and you would press that button there, and that tells you that it's 4:30, and that it's gone 4 o'clock. It's between 4:30 and 4:45. Some of them had much quieter bells. They would tick or click, so you could hear it, like for really discreet ones, but mine chimes. So yeah, there we are. We are coming up to our 10 minutes, and we saw a very similar thing in there. Much older than mine. Mine's Victoria, and that one in there was in the 1700s. But anyone that knows me knows I love clocks and watches. See a good few watches and a couple of clocks in there today. So that's me happy as a sandboy, as they say. Hope you've all found this interesting, guys and girls. If you have, just give it a like and a share or what have you. Take care, and see you all in my next lot of videos. Thanks everyone, and thank you all to my new subscribers and for the likes and shares and stuff. I do appreciate it. Thanks everyone.